Welcome back to What If Asta Was the Reaper, Part 2. We start this off with Glass getting punched in the face. Asta's doing fist training with Glass to get his combat with his physical strength enhanced. You can't always rely on your magic, you know. As Reaper goes to the left, dodging a attack from Glass, as he goes in for an uppercut, hitting him in the face. Glass tries to do a flip and then kick him to catch the Reaper off guard. Asta saw it coming. He fell to the ground and then swept his leg, and then grabbed his foot while he was falling and then tossed him to a tree. As he hit the tree, you got a lot more to learn before you can make me go to my feet, kid. As he tries to use Glass from behind to hit Reaper, as all he does is grabs a knife from his pocket and breaks the glass swords that were coming towards him. You also need to learn how to reinforce your weapons, it being your magic weapons or just a regular weapon like this. As Glass doesn't know what he means. Oh, take a closer look at the blade, boy. As Steven looks at the blade. You see there's a little glow around it, right? Yeah, very faint. I can sense magic coming off of it. Yes, I've infused some of my magic into this small knife, able to cut a magic spell. You see, normal weapons wouldn't really affect or do much damage to magic weapons, and magic in general. But you infuse magic into it, it's a different story. For instance, he drops the knife and it fades away as two shotguns appear. These things are made of magic that shoots magic bullets. I concentrate my magic into a small container barrel and shoots it. Very effective for taking out my enemies. As he gets up. Oh, and one more thing. While he's listening, always pay attention to your surroundings. As he's confused by that, as he gets socked in the left side of his face, saying him rolling. Yep, you really shouldn't have just let your guard down for me teaching you a lesson. As he gets up, sorry. As Reaper tries going for a right hook to Steven's face again, but he managed to block it with his fist this time. I see you're learning. He then kicks him in the stomach, sending him backwards. You're a little out of breath. It has been a few days since I've trained you. You haven't had much rest. As Reaper's been training him in the same basically atmosphere he was trained, where he basically had no time to rest, and the times he did have, he had to stay on guard at all times. I admit you've grown, and this training suits you. Unfortunately, I wish I didn't have to use the same methods my instructors used. But unfortunately, the instructors are no longer around. As Steven's confused by that, as Reaper tries to go for a punch in the stomach, he managed to make a little glass shield to protect his stomach, and he slides back a little bit. Reaper backs away. Impressive. You managed to make a glass shield, enough to protect your vital spot I was aiming for. You are improving every second of this fight, just as I predicted. Says the person's not even going all out. You've barely used your magic. Why, of course. Why would I need to use my magic when it's simple like this? As he appears behind him and kicks him in the back of the head. My speed outranks you in a lot of things. With even out magic, I can easily move around you. My magic is suited for stealth, I'll admit that, and taking lives. It's not really suited for training. You see, one wrong step of my magic could kill you easily. So that's why I'm only doing fist training. You'll get more training in magic and all that back at the Diamond Kingdom. When are we going back to the Diamond Kingdom anyway? Well, you haven't been there, and unfortunately you've been assigned a task with me, so I'm in charge of training you. So we won't be going back, at least for a couple of months, unfortunately. I'd love to show you around. The Diamond Kingdom has some amazing, beautiful places. If you overlook all the experimentation and military grounds there, they have some beautiful places. Like what? Well, there was this one beautiful graveyard I like to go by. It's usually when I have to bury a few instructors that failed to teach me anything. As you killed your instructors? Well, it was the survival of the fittest. I was given the order to kill them. I killed them. That's all I need to know. And the higher up, well, let's just say, he's a strong guy. As then Reaper appears in front of him again. This time, Steven manages to evade the attack, ducking down. And then Reaper gut punches him with his knee, having spit up saliva as his feet are off the ground. As he quickly moves his feet and kicks him in the side, sending him flying and rolling on the dirt. Again, you let your guard down. Although you did manage to counter it this time, you gained better in your reaction time. We go to Steven, and Roy's thinking, I can't sense his movements. Whenever he goes that fast, he cuts off his mana, basically making it really hard to sense him. I never asked what position you had. You said you were one of the best in the Diamond Kingdom, right? Yes. Highly respected, actually, by my peers. And you could say I have a few grudges between colleagues. Then why are you sent here? Truth be told, I don't know why I was assigned here. I thought they would send me to the Spade Kingdom or the Heart Kingdom, to be honest. But they're probably more afraid of Julius, you see. The Wizard King? Yes. His time magic is something to be wary about, I have to admit. How do you know that? You can't be an assassin without knowing people's secrets, kid. Even though you're a bit younger than me. In this timeline, I'm making Asta a little bit older, about 2 years. So he's about 18. You're a bit younger than me. But you still got talent, and I see that talent. And trust me, when you grow up in a place like I did, we get a flashback where old broken ruins and all that were around him while he was running, as the instructors that were tasked to train him were coming after to fight him. As he's hiding behind a wall, you can tell he has bruises and scratches all over his body due for the diverse training he was given. And the flashback ends there. By my diverse training, I became one of the best. But now I think this is enough for now. As Steven finally lets lower his guard a little bit, because he's no longer having to worry about his taxes. Reaper has said, this is enough for now. I'm going to see a village scouted out. I hear some magic knights are doing some training nearby. Although I don't plan to kill any of them today. Steven asks, why? Well, it's simple, really. You see, today is a day I'd prefer not to spill any bloodshed if needed, as it's one of my days off, you see. And especially as saying as one of the Diamond Kingdom's assassins, I don't get days off that much. How's it a day off when you spent most of the day training with me? You're probably right. Truth be told, I chose to train with you for the day, because I wanted to see how much you've grown in the time you joined me. And you've grown quite a bit. I will say that with a fact. But you still have some key weaknesses, which you need to fill later down the road. I admit you're still lacking in the sensory department of sensing other mana, but you're pretty good in combat, offensive, defense. I'll give you that. But stealth attacks are your weakness, for the most part. One good magic knight that has a good sense of stealth could easily take you out. Saying this from an assassin, I can easily pick out your weaknesses. Honestly, if you had joined a Magic Knight squad, this may be different, and you may have been on my receiving end of targets. I'm glad none of them chose you, though, because now you're going to be part of the winning side. As he smiles. Well, I guess I can consider myself lucky then, sir. Yes, you should consider yourself lucky. Now, I hear there's a village nearby. I want to go check it out. What, Hodge Village? No, another village. I just want to check it out since I heard some Magic Knights are going to be in that area. As he vanishes into smoke, as we see Steven, who finally just collapses off his feet and onto the ground. Oh, his training. As his arms are shaking. And his legs. It's going to be a while before I feel my arms again. As his arms and legs were bruised from trying to tank the attacks of the Reaper. Asta's strength is, well, superhuman nonetheless. He's very strong. Steven just takes a nap right there and just passes out from exhaustion. We go to the Reaper, who's just going through on treetops, heading towards the village. As he lands on a tree, as he noticed, what, fog rolling in? No. As he puts his hand in the fog. This isn't fog, this is magic. I gotta say, they did put up a good thing putting up a magic barrier of smoke, making it look like a fog. I'll give them credit. Whoever they are. Well, better go deal with whoever these are. After all, they could be interfering with my job. As he makes his way towards the village. As he sees some ice attacks, as he landed on a building. Ice is flowing out from there. The fog makes it difficult for me to see, but I can sense during the monozone of 4 enemies. Yes, and one with the main magic, I can tell. Well, wait, I sense 2 more magics. Magic Knights, most likely. Although one is weak, but also massive. Whose is that? As he's referring to one of the Magic Knights from the Black Bulls. Well, I'll just have to wait and see. As he sees fire go through. As he finally gets a clear look at the Magic Knights. Ah, from the Black Bulls. They're actually putting up a decent fight. As he just circles throughout the buildings. Again, the enemies have not noticed the Reaper. As he's hit his mana very well. And he's staying behind the church on the roof. Looking down at the opponents. One of them seems to have a book in his hand and is using ice magic, and the rest must be focusing around the fog. They're in like blue robes. Who are these? Oh well, the civilians can't see me from this distance, and the fog is making it 10 times harder. Note, the silent kill is how I'll deal with them. As he shoots two of his magic bullets, hitting 2 of the mages, causing them to fall over as they were hit in the neck by the bullets, killing them, leaving the main leader and the other one focusing on the fog magic, not to realize they were taken out. As he lands on the ground, now how to deal with you. As he grabs one, the one with the fog magic, and just vanishes. As he looks around saying he needs assistance, as Magna is using a big blast of fire magic. As he noticed 2 of his colleagues are on the ground dead and the other one missing. What happened? Another Magic Knight? He turns around, about to shoot ice magic. But then suddenly something comes out of nowhere and hits his shoulder. A Magic Knight's bullet. Where did that come from? As then he looks over and a big fireball from Magna managed to hit him. Oh, good. As he's on the roof on the other side of the village, as he shot that bullet at the man's shoulder, and is still holding the other man by the neck. Well, I guess I better take you with me. They're gonna be suspicious if I don't. They're gonna be wondering where you were. I prefer to let them think that you left and escaped. It makes my job easier. As he just flees the area with the guy. As he gets back to, well, his base of operations, which is in the skull of in the thumbnail. As he notices Steven on the ground, not unconscious. I must have overworked him. Doesn't matter. His growth is coming and going at a steady pace, so it still makes worth in training the boy. As he then just drains the life force from the man slowly, as he's feeling his life force drained in pain. Oh, come on, it can't hurt that much. After all, it's nothing the pain I had to endure. As we have a flashback of Asta on a table, as a few magic stones are being inserted into him. As then the man just goes limp. And he turns to dust. Yeah, I forgot that happens when I absorb someone's life force all the way. They just turn to nothingness. Well, I hear that we may have some interesting news coming soon. And I hope my next report gives me something useful. After all, I haven't been going after any other any other magic knights for the time, because I'm too busy training him. He's looking at Steven. But still, it doesn't matter. The Diamond Kingdom is playing something, and I'm only here as basically a spy and an assassin for when needed. So, this will just have to do. As he walks further in and gets on his bed, I'll just sleep for the time being. As he falls asleep, we go about a few days more after this, to where we go back to Reaper observing Steven's training, trying to increase his magic, as he's staying on top of a rock. He's gotten better, but still needs improvement. I gotta admit, he's gotten better at filling in his weak spots. Every time I went in for an attack, he would use magic on his blind spots, his glass magic to defend, making it hard as steel, I'll admit. Which is impressive. Also, my magic bullets, which are not full power, because I don't want to kill the kid. But, even at a very 30%, I would say, they're withstanding the bullet pressure of magic. I have to say, I'm impressed. He's really improved. In fact, if I give him time, he'd probably turn out to be a good assassin. But he may not want to be that. Who knows? I won't complicate things as long as he's loyal to the Diamond Kingdom. And an ally, I won't have to kill him. As then he gets a call off a item. As he opens the item. As it's one of the higher-ups. Yes, what is it? Well, you see, two Magic Knight squads are going to go after a dungeon we discovered on the border. I see. We currently have sent Mars and a few other Diamond members to go gather the riches from there. I would like for you to assist. I see. Mars. I remember that name. Yes, he was one of the kids you grew up with. Although they no longer know you are alive, due to certain arrangements. Which is what it should be, as no one should know who I am. Exactly. The only one who knows who you are is me and you. After all, you've wanted to keep your name and everything else from your original a secret. Which I can respect that. And after you do all the jobs I assign you. Even though you're not following the Diamond King directly. You know I take orders from you and not the Diamond Kingdom. Kingdom's king, anyway. Yes, you take charge of the command. You take it from us, the commanders. You don't take it from the king's word himself. That's right. The king is arrogant. I would prefer to kill him myself. Yes, he is. I have to agree with you. But don't worry. You mostly follow my command by given orders by the Diamond Kingdom's king. Our king, you've been under my control and my supervision for years. Why, of course. I only follow your word, not the Diamond Kingdom's king. I may follow the words of the Diamond Kingdom, but not the king himself. That's right. Well, anyway, as the supervisor grins, also, that Yuno kid from the Golden Dawn will be on that mission. I see. If possible, I'd like you to apprehend or get rid of him. Alright, that should be easy. And there are 2 people from noble bloods that we could use for ransom. To get from the Diamond, or from the, well, Clover Kingdom, of course. Their names? Noelle Silva. We could ransom her for pretty good penny, as she's a noble. And then there's another one from Golden Dawn. If you can, apprehend her as well. I see. You'd like me to apprehend her as well, alright. I think I can do that. Although I may have Steven apprehend them to keep my identity a secret in the Clover Kingdom. That would probably be the best choice, I agree. As you know, I'm best for assassins. Kidnapping's not my forte. Fair point, but you still get the job done. Fair point. What if these two can be too troublesome? Am I allowed to get rid of them then? If they turn out to be too much of a threat, you are allowed to eliminate them as well. As he smirks under the mask. Noted. Any other orders? Yes, since you have a keen eye for picking out people in the Clover Kingdom, if you find any other worthy people of magic, recruit them to the Diamond Kingdom immediately. You should leave that to your instructors. After all, you're the one that set them up. That is true, but who can be the best instructor for these people than from our best operative on the field? You give me too much praise. After all, I don't come to candle when it comes to a fight with you. Fair point. You have come close in a few fights, but you've not yet to defeat me. I know that. That's the one reason I respect working under you. As the supervisor smiles, I know. But if possible, I wish you would like to bring those nobles back alive. And since they're on the border, as soon as they cross, we can easily call for a ransom. You're right. And since they're from one of the 3 noble families, 2 of them to be precise. 2 of them? Yes. One of them's connected in bloodline to the Vermilion family, I believe. She is the other target I was talking about. Alright, noted. I guess I'll have a reunion with my old friend Mars. Again, I won't reveal anything to him. Yes. Also, what was his magic again after the experiments? You didn't really tell me. Oh yes, you weren't obligated to know at the time. But he has currently a mixture of fire and crystal magic. In the right hands, and with the right power, he could be a formidable foe even towards a captain. If he trains his mana and magic right. I agree. But, unfortunately, he's not under my supervision, so I can't call the shots with him. I know. I just got lucky I got under your supervision. After all, who knows what type of jobs the others would have me do. You're right. I exploit the best in your field. And I saw the potential in you. The reason I let you join my side of the Diamond Kingdom. Yes. And that's where this new recruit will be going, correct? As soon as I'm done training him for a while, I'll send him back to you. Good to hear. And remember, keep an eye for promising new subordinates as well. After all, I have a lot of trust and respect for you, Reaper. Do not make me feel bad for misplacing that. You don't have to worry. The mission will be complete shortly. I trust that it will. As the call ends. Great, another mission to go do. Well, that dungeon should be only a little while off from here. As he pulls his shotguns out, I should easily take care of whoever they dispatch. And that is the end of part 2 of What If Asta Was the Reaper. Hopefully y'all enjoyed. Remember to like and subscribe.